Hello, Mom, Dad, Me World. So today we are talking about a 16 to 35 Sony lens. This is the Zeiss F4 ZA 16 to 35 millimeter OSS lens. It does have the blue Zeiss branding right here. I do have the 24 to 70 millimeter version of this lens that I do enjoy very much. Or when we are talking about this lens, I am happy with it to a point, but I also have, there's a YouTuber who I've watched a few times where he says buy it nice or buy it twice. I kind of sort of have that feeling a little bit with this lens, and I 100% knew that going into it because I knew it wasn't going to be great for low light situation, which I've experienced very much so. So this is mounted onto a Sony a7 IV body. It's got the Arca Swiss baseplate here, and it pretty much lives on this DJI RS3 Mini gimbal, which I do like to use in tandem with this right here, this whole kit. And I find it works very well. I do like to put it on there, get some nice steady shots. But I will tell you, in low light situations, it does not do well. You definitely do need to add a little bit more light or crank up the ISO. And since I am using a Sony a7 IV, where I believe the secondary base ISO is what, 2500 or so, this is not like the ZV-E1 or the a7S III or the FX3, where the base or the secondary base ISO is not 12,800. So you do need as much light as possible, or else you'll get a lot of noise. So with this particular lens right here, it does great pretty much all the time. I like the sun stars it produces, but again, you do need more light. And we got this lens on Amazon for about $500 or so. It was a Amazon used deal. It was in very good condition. The build quality is great. Nice metal construction all the way around. The zoom ring, it does extend a little bit. You've got the zoom ring right here. You've got the focus right here. Doesn't extend very far, which is great. 35 mil, this is actually backwards of what I would expect it to. 35 mil is actually the most retracted, and then when you want to go all the way down to 16 mil, then it actually pops out just like that. But there is no issue when it is on the gimbal. I balance it about halfway. I've got no issue if I want to move in and out of the zoom range. It's great for that. So one of the things I did forget to talk about is why I'm using the 16 to 35 on the Sony a7 IV body. That 16 to 35 range is phenomenal because when I put this in 4K 60, there's actually a 1.5 times crop where that 16 now becomes a 24 millimeter equivalent. So that is very handy, because what I was using before was this right here. And this has actually got an adapter lens on it. So this is the tiny 28mm f2. It is a very nice lens, but combined with this particular adapter, this is the ultra-wide adapter, which brings it down to 0.75 ultra-wide teleconverter, or ultra-wide converter, excuse me, not a teleconverter. This actually brings it to a 21mm equivalent. So even with this 21mm, it is still not as good as having the 16mm, and then you multiply that down by 1.5, and it's somewhere around the 33-ish millimeter range, so around the top of this range. So it's for basically to have it work with this a7 IV body. I really like the body. Plus, to be quite honest with you, it is really expensive to get the Sony's ZV-E1 that doesn't have the dual redundant memory cards. FX3 is also very expensive, that does have the dual memory card slots, but that's almost a $4,000 camera body, which is way expensive for what I am doing. So I figured the workaround is the 16 to 35 millimeter lens, and in the future, yes, I'll go back to that buy it nice or buy it twice. Oh, I hope my wife is not watching this. So we'll go back to that buy it nice or buy it twice thing, where eventually getting that 16 to 35 G Master Mark II is probably the way to go. So anyways, it's got good handling, great picture quality. It's just an overall nice lens, but it was to be expected. I did get a chance to use the G Master Mark II, the 16 to 35 G Master Mark II. That was a phenomenal lens, about the same size. Maybe I was going to say it's a little bit wider than this particular lens, but they did feel a lot alike in terms of the feel. It was a phenomenal lens, getting down to that f2.8, excellent for low light. There was just a lot more versatility in that lens, so if you are looking for a lens just overall to use, this is a great lens. But if you need something with a little bit more, I would say, capability and more nighttime capability, yeah, you will 100% or should 100% either be prepared to add more light or step up to that G Master. A lot of people, I have not used the original G Master 16 to 35, but a lot of people do like that. I just watched Peter Lindgren's video, and that is one of his favorite lenses, is that 16 to 35, the original. I came into this knowing what to expect, which is going to be pretty sharp center focus. The edges are not going to be as sharp, but overall just a good, well-rounded f4 lens. So I knew the limitations going into it, and for about $500 for a genuine first-party Sony lens, it is a pretty darn good lens, pretty much all around. As I said, the only shortcoming I already knew is going to be low light situation. So anybody looking for a YouTube lens, anybody looking for a lens to put on their gimbal like I do here to use with the a7 IV, this is actually a pretty darn good little setup as long as you know your limitations. So hopefully this video helped. It was a little bit of a, hey, you kind of already knew what to expect from the lens, but it's just me confirming expectations of sharp center. Okay, probably should go down to an f2.8 if you're going to do anything low light, but again, pretty darn good for a first-party Sony lens. So that is it. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, you know what to do. Please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps out our channel. And until next time, we'll see you later.